All right, so I just got a new key cut for this bike because the bike came without a key. He lost the key a long time ago, so I had a locksmith come and make a new key for this. Locksmith had to take the entire locking mechanism apart because I guess it was put together wrong. He said originally it took about an hour. It took him about 4 hours to do all this. Made a key. It's all connected and everything. One thing that sucks, turn the key on, no lights on the dash. Yeah, so we got to troubleshoot that, figure out why it is not getting power. I just put a new battery in. So it is getting power to the system because there is aftermarket LEDs. So LEDs work. So I know the battery's good and the connection's good. So we're going to troubleshoot what's going on. Took this panel off, and here's the fuse system. So I took the fuse cover off of this. Here's all the fuses. I have a small little fuse tester, and let's check to see if all these are good. Put this over here so you guys can see a little better. All right, that one's good. That one works. That one works. That one does not come on. That one works. So there is a 10 amp fuse that is not on. What is that? ECM fuse. So I do have a bad fuse. Let's put a fuse in there and see if that works. So we are going to pull this fuse out. Yep, that one's broken. I got a new 10 amp fuse. Pop that sucker in there. And let's go around to the other side. Turn ignition on. Oh, yes sir, we got lights on the dash. That was it. Sick. Sick. Cool. So ignition works. We got power to the dash and everything's looking good. There is 24,221 miles. All right, next we are going to take this fuel tank off and clean the inside of this thing because I saw some rust in it. Got those connections out, the last bolt out. And this electrical connection under here is the last thing. Sweet. There is definitely the sound of some fuel still in there. Kind of sucks. I don't think this bolt goes back in here. This fucking screw. Got the fuel tank off. Got all this stuff off. Looks like an aftermarket cap. The video I watched about how to do this, that looked different. Definitely looked different. All right, let's take this guy apart. Just use a fucking torque. I'm very, very curious to see how the inside of this tank actually looks. Because from the little fuel hole I was able to look into, there was definitely some rust. It didn't look too bad though. So I'm hoping it'll be the same. That is very interesting. I don't even know what fuel pump I've ever seen. Interesting. Which also doesn't want to come out. So that must be the fuel pump. I guess this would be like the empty gauge. Just reading if the tank's full or empty. Yeah. That makes sense. So now let's take this fuel pump out. And I'm definitely going to go through and change these hoses. These things are rough. All cracking and dry rot a little bit. Guess I can now take a look in here. Yeah, she got some stuff floating around, that's for sure. You guys can see all that in there. She don't look great, but she also doesn't look too terrible. We'll see. So does this not have a fuel pump? I'm confused. Because I did not see... Alright, let's just drain all this fuel out and see how it goes. All right. That's not gonna work. Sick. It's a real pain in my ass. Break that thing by accident. Sick. Jesus Christ. Oh, I do not want to break that. No, I broke it. Fuck. Shit, fuck. Oh, no. The fucking filter housing just snapped off on the inside of this. God. Oh, that sucks. Please come out. Why did I do that? Oh, yes. Oh, thank God. All right, that's the inline filter. That looks terrible. Thank God that came out. Holy shit. It's the other one that came out. Look as bad, but still pretty terrible. It's all ripped and oh, it's so gross. All right. All right, now I just have to figure out how to get all the sediment out of this tank. So I got out, I think, all, if not, 98% of the sediment that was in the tank. So I poured a little gas in it, tried to shake it around, dump it out of these little holes best that I could. I used a little parts cleaner to try and get as much out as I could. And then I let it sit for a couple hours. I let as much of the gas evaporate or dry as it could. And then I took it out back of my house, and then I took a water hose and I sprayed the inside of the tank with a jet. Let it fill up, let all the sediment, try to shake it around, slosh it around, drain it out of all these holes. I did that probably 10 times. I think I got the majority of the sediment out. I mean, I'm sure there's still a little bit left in there. And then I took a air compressor, blew as much of the water out as I could. Obviously there's still some water in there now, so I'm going to kind of prop it up, leave it overnight, let as much of the water evaporate, dry as it can, check it tomorrow, and then I am going to put some evaporust inside of the tank, hopefully get as much of the surface rust out as I can, and see how that goes. And then I'm going to be replacing all of these fuel filters, replacing those inline filters. And from the research that I've done, that I figured out the fuel pump is external from the engine. So I'm going to find that, and then we'll replace that, because yeah, there's no fuel pump inside of this tank, which is interesting. Never seen that. But yeah, I will, if you can see what the inside of this tank looks like now. So there's definitely still some surface rust. Not as bad. I mean, it's not terrible. Doesn't look very pitted. So yeah, hopefully the evaporust will take care of that. And got it propped up. Paper towels at the bottom. Little fan blowing into the hole. I got the cap off on the other side. Everything open. So hopefully this will dry out the water that I used, and then we'll evaporust it tomorrow. So it's the next day. I believe all the water has dried out, which is awesome. So now we are going to plug up all these holes, put the cap on, and then fill it with evaporust and move it around about every hour so it gets all the different areas of the inside of the tank. So yeah, we'll start taping up. What would be best? Duct tape? Yeah, probably duct tape. Cool. I also have found the fuel pump finally. It is like behind the battery box, which yeah, took me a while to find that, but we'll show that next. Taking that out, and I don't think there's a screen on the inside of it, but I'm gonna check, make sure there's not. Well, this hole, I'm just going to put this back in. So you can use the least amount of tape. This one, so I guess we have to tape that. That kind of sucks. Except for the fuel cap. Now we're going to fill her up with evaporust. Hopefully none of it leaks out. Move her all around. Wait probably 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. See how that does. There's still some rust. Do it again. Rust, grease, surface, evaporust, channel, not found it, rust, rust, rinse with water, dry immediately, spray with surface water-based rust inhibitor. We're going to use all of this. Alright, moment of truth. Hopefully it doesn't all dump out. Looks okay so far. I should probably work that off. Okay. Alright, it was leaking out a little bit, so let's double up on the tape. Everything else seems to be holding pretty well. This tape down here looks good. Nothing really coming out of that, which is awesome. Now we let it sit. Alright, now that the tank is soaking in evaporust, I'm gonna check out the fuel pump. I've located the fuel pump. It's behind this engine box. So I'm gonna remove the engine box and hopefully it'll be easy to get to and take off. Hopefully I can clean it. I mean, I know everything.
No problem.
Take it. No, hey, stop. We're not talking right now. Alright, so let's see if I can get this fuel pump. Oh boy. That thing's fucking on there. I'll tell you that. Holy moly. Is that moving that too? Jeez. One is in a weird position, so I can't really hit it with a hammer. I'm just trying to... does not want to rotate. I don't know if there's a bolt behind it like the other one. There's a bolt behind it. I don't think I can get it off. Damn it. Like, why would it be such a difficult bolt for a fucking battery box? I don't understand. Dude, I don't... I'm gonna get this bolt off. This pipe in there. Turn it that way. Oh, no way. I got her turning. Let's go. As long as I'm not turning the bolt on the other side, I should be right. Feels like it's looser. Oh, thank God for these ball-ended Allen keys. Oh, it's coming off. Let's go. Behind this plate. So I guess I gotta take this plate off too. Alright, let's see how that goes. Hopefully not all these are Loctited, dude. Both these bolts were Loctited on, which I don't understand why. So now we're gonna, oh nice, thank God. Take these off. Oh, they have bolts on the back of them. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? They're all turning. God damn it. Is there an easier way I can get the fuel pump? No, of course not. Maybe I can go in the back from the tire? Yeah, all of these bolts are Loctited. No, I just gotta figure out how to get the bottom one. In my life, what I imagine a fuel pump is this hard to get to. I'm sure I'm probably just an idiot, and there's a way easier way to get to this, but I'm not aware of it. So we're taking this whole thing off. Real question is, will I be able to get it back in when I just lift this up? I just want it out of the way. That's stupid. Little zip tie that was holding those wires there. Let's this move a little more now. Don't want to pry on anything else and break something. Is it fucking wired to that? Who put a wire around this? Son of a bitch. Oh. See, someone wrapped a wire around those wires. Oh, thank God. All right. Don't need to take it all the way out. Probably like that. Sick. Tuck that back there. Oh, Jesus. There's our fuel pump. Sick. It's a fucking pain in the ass. Now we're going to take these hose clamps off. And hopefully, so I gotta take these bolts out. It just comes right out. Probably gonna take this off too. What I'm doing, it's like these major bolts, I know where they go. Like obviously they go into this frame. Smaller bolts, like for stuff like this, I'm putting them in bags and labeling them because knowing me, I will completely forget where they go to. And yeah, so it's a good little tip. I wasn't originally going to change this fuel pump. I guess I still don't know if I'm going to. But if I reuse this fuel pump and it doesn't work, means I got to do all this over again. Which I guess would be a little easier now that they're not Loctite anymore, but we'll see. See how I feel when I'm check it out and see how it looks. I'm gonna go get new fuel lines today, fuel hoses. A lot of these are real shit. There's a cover that goes over those. To be 100% honest, I do not know what that other metal thing is next to it. Alright, let's throw some napkins down so my house or garage doesn't reek of varnish for no. That is like heat wrapped onto that thing. Alright, that doesn't look like that's actually supposed to come off. So, we're just going to take this off from here. I'll put that back on. That's that. Is that... Yeah, they like heated it. Like, heat shrunk it onto that thing. Okay, so this is gonna go back on. I'll wedge this back in here. And we'll take this off. Let's get this back down on there. That was originally. Ah, yes, sir. That's a lot of fuel. Oh, come on. Nice. Well, we were able to drain the fuel out of that. Get the fuel pump off. Garage is gonna reek of varnish. Cool. Let's see if we can try and flush. All right. So we got the fuel pump out. Now we're gonna take out the fuel filter. So on this thing that I'm gonna have to just cut it off. I'm trying to find the end of it. Cut it as smoothly as I can because this hose looks fine, and I don't have to replace it. I don't want to. So we're just gonna try to cut this as close as I can to the nipple of this thing. See how it goes. Nice. Could have gone a little closer, but whatever. Cut it flush, because I'm gonna reuse it. Sick. Sweet. And that's fuel filter. I am going to replace this. There's a company that I found called Victory Only, and they sell a new one of these. So I don't understand how they expect people to replace this. I mean, maybe I could have got it out on that side. That would have been such a pain in the ass. Because like to remove this was such a pain. So I don't know. I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do it, but that's the way I did it. All right, so I pulled the fuel pump out. I'm gonna test that the fuel pump works before I put it back in the bike because it was a real pain in the ass to get out. I read online you can test fuel pump, positive, positive, negative, negative, made a strong connection, and we're gonna put it to the 12-volt battery to see if it pumps some fuel, fresh fuel, waste fuel, fire extinguisher in case I start a fire. Put this down into the fuel, this into there, just a little bit with my feet. And we will see if this works. Make sure that's in the fuel. Suck anything dry out. Alright, that's negative. Negative to negative, positive to positive. Nope. Nothing. Nice. So, glad I checked that. Fuel pump doesn't work. So we're going to order a new fuel pump when we order a new fuel filter. Thank God I didn't put that back in the bike. Alright, sweet. So I am super happy that I checked if this fuel pump worked or not. Because my original plan was to just flush it out and put it back into the bike. But yeah, I mean, I'd have been so upset if I put it back in and it didn't work and I'd have to retake that plate off. Yeah, I tested a few times. I tapped it a few times because I heard if you tap it, sometimes it can get it to start. It did not. And the fuel pump itself is like hot, so it's definitely getting power. It's just, it must be seized from sitting for so long, which I'm happy with because I'm going to order a fuel filter anyway. And now I can order them all off the same website at the same time. So it saves me time. Another thing I'm going to do is replace these fuel injection lines. I could probably reuse them, but I mean, they're 26 years old, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace them. I'm going to buy those online, and then what I'm going to do as well is check the air filter while I'm at it, because I can order the air filter off of the same website. So I can order all at once, and yeah, saves me some time. So air filter is behind this small little, what is happening? Small little container. So we're going to take this off. Nice, doesn't look too bad. Just going to hit it with some air, tap it clean a little bit, and yeah, I don't need to replace because these air filters are like $70 for a new one. So yeah, still got some life in it. Why? All right, sweet. So I am going to be ordering a fuel pump, a new fuel filter, and then the inline fuel screens that come out of those little loops at the bottom of the tank, from victoryonly.com. I heard they're a really great company, from Tennessee, I think. Yeah, first time ordering from them. Get those things in, and then yeah, we should be getting ready to put the fuel system back together, which is awesome. I've been rotating this tank with the evapor rust in it every hour. So it started on its bottom, and then I flipped its side, and then other side. Yeah, so we're just going to keep it rotating. Probably do it, honestly, I might do it overnight. I don't see the harm in doing it overnight, just to make sure I get all the rust out. Yeah, so we're looking good. Everything's well underway. And once I get fuel pump, fuel filter, and everything in, then we'll start putting this fuel system back together and move on to the next step. All right, I guess I should have done this earlier before I spent a bunch of money on this bike. I'm gonna double check that the motor's not seized. I highly doubt it is, but we obviously need to check before going much forward. So I'm gonna take out the spark plugs, put in a little Marvin mystery oil, and yeah, then check to make sure the bike moves freely. The motor moves. Oh, it's such a pain in the ass to get out. Sweet. And then I'm gonna grab a long socket, pull those out, take the spark plugs out, and then put a little Marvin mystery oil and let it sit for a couple hours and make sure that the engine's not seized. Oh yeah, that spark plug does not look super great. Alright, got the spark plugs out. So now we are going to take a little Marvin mystery oil and put a small amount into the holes, let it sit overnight, and make sure that the engine's not seized. And then we will tomorrow, or the next day, whenever, turn the engine over so it'll blow out the excess of this oil. Yeah. I'm just gonna probably do about a cap full. To each one of these holes. Cool. Now we're gonna let it sit overnight. Just for reference, I ended up doing 2 caps of the Marvin mystery oil. I felt like a lot of it got on the side of this and not, there's like a little ring that the spark plug sticks in. So I put this funnel in and then did an extra cap just to make sure it actually got down into the engine. All right, so we let the evaporust sit in this tank for about 24 hours. Moved it all around. I just drained the evaporust and then I rinsed the inside of that with a water hose. And now, dude, the tank looks great. I'll show you guys what the inside of the tank now looks like. I don't know if you guys are even able to really see that. Yeah, got the majority of the rust out. So now, after rinsing with water, draining all that as best as I could, I'm going to throw a little gasoline in to hopefully dry up all the water and it doesn't flash rust. And then, yeah, then we're going to drain that out. Hit it with some air again. And, yeah, hopefully that keeps it from flash rusting. I'll let that dry overnight and then throw some, put all it back together and throw some gas in it. Not anything crazy, just enough to hit all the sides. Oops. It absorbs as much water as it can. Dump all that shit out. Cool. Hit it with some air, let it dry. Tank should be good to go. So I should have done this earlier. Make sure that the engine's not seized. So I put the Marvin mixture oil in the cylinders yesterday. So we're gonna pick this bike up. We're gonna put it in gear. First, second, third. Fourth. Nice. She moves. She moves in gear. And I can feel that moving. That's great. Sick. Bike's not seized. Put back in neutral.